Yeah, okay. Now we are live. Live, okay. Hello. 好，大家好啊。嗱，咁咧就我哋而家咧就開始我哋嘅 live 啊，遲咗2分鐘嚇，唔好意思。咁就我見到已經有朋友咧入緊嚟㗎啦。咁有噉入緊嚟，我哋所以咧開始我哋今日一個呢個 live 嘅 webinar 啦。咁同大家介紹啦，今晚咧我哋全部咧。都知道啦，大家知道我哋AI migration 本來平時都係講開 migration 嘅，即係一啲移民澳洲嘅東西嘅。咁但係今晚咧，我哋都係講移民，但係我哋唔會再講咩移民政策啊、移民規例啊嗰啲問題嗰啲法律嗰啲嘢唔講。我哋今晚嘅主題咧就得一個，就係昆士蘭。咁加埋今晚咧就剛剛大家都可能知道，即係除咗今日財政預算案之外咧，我諗第二個消息最緊就係剛剛嘅昆士蘭嘅一個消息。咁好啦，所以咧我哋今晚咧就全部我哋都係同昆士蘭嘅有關嘅人嚟嘅，基本上我哋全部4個都係 Queenslander 嚟嘅。今晚我哋嘅 speaker 嗱，咁我介紹我自己先啦，我係 Richard Wong 啦。咁我係大家都可能喺其他嘅 live 或者係 seminar 見過我，咁我就係澳洲嘅移民顧問啦，亦都係澳洲嘅執業律師。咁我嚟咗，其實我嚟咗澳洲係14年。咁喺之前我有個報道喺 SBS， 大家可能睇過，就係我係一個技術移民嚟嘅 Day One 嘅時候，我嗰陣時嚟嘅時候咧，就係第一個落腳點咧就係 Queensland。咁我14年前咧。就係去咗 Queensland， 咁我仲要係去咗昆士蘭嘅偏遠地區 Regional Queensland， 咁我去咗個地方叫 Mackay Central Queensland， 咁我所以咧，我喺呢度嚟講咧，就我諗除咗阿 Cynthia 之外啦，我唔知 Cynthia 之外啦，就我係最早嘅 Queenslander 啦。咁跟住我隔離咧就有我嘅 partner 阿 Don 啦，咁佢就係而家嘅 Queenslander。咁阿 Don 可唔可以你又打個招呼啦？趁阿 Cynthia。
喂 ，hello 大家好，我係Mara agent 嚟嘅，咁而家我就 locate 喺 Brisbane， 咁所以今場咧都係我主場嚟嘅，係啦。
好啊，咁好啦，咁跟住我哋第3位嘉賓咧，另外一位嘉賓咧就係阿 Sarah 啦，大家見到右下角嗰位啦。咁阿 Sarah 咧，可能你真係第一次見佢個樣㗎啦，因為平時都係見到2隻好靚嘅，係咪天使定雀仔定咩嗰個？我要試移民呢個 personal blog 嘅 logo， 大家又會見到阿 Sarah 咧，我叫咗你要改名啦，你仲試咩移民啫？你移咗民，而家你係移咗民，你試完啦，而家真係移民㗎，你要改名㗎啦。OK， 嗱咁今晚咧 Sarah 咧就Sarah 就新鮮熱辣嘅，仲辣手嘅，即係啱落地嘅 Queenslander。係嘛？咁你開始要認識呢個字啊，就係 Queenslander 以後出街都要話俾人知你係 Queenslander 嘅。咁變咗我哋今晚咧就有3代嘅 Queenslander 喺度。咁咧第4位最重要嘅嘉賓so our most important honourable guest Cynthia. Cynthia, hi, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, you are a very important person tonight.
And thank you. I'm very privileged to be.
I mean, yeah, especially half an hour ago, okay? I think, you are extremely important now. So let me introduce Cynthia is the Senior Project Officer of the we call BSMQ, which is the Queensland State Government representative. So this BSMQ stands for Business and Skill Migration Queensland, which is a department under Queensland State Government. And obviously, the role of Cynthia is to assessing all your state nominations, especially 188, which is the business visa, and which is an important topic we're talking about tonight. So I think let me pass the stage to Cynthia first. So Cynthia, I know you have a very good material that can share with us. So let me pass the stage to you, and so you can show us your PowerPoint and introduce about Queensland. Then we will have a lot of questions to you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Richard, for giving me the opportunity. So should I switch to my PowerPoint now?
Yeah, you can share your.
Yeah, okay, sure. Share the screen, right?
Yep. Okay.
Is that, yeah, okay, so that's so good evening, good afternoon, everyone. This is Cynthia Chen from Business Skill Migration Queensland. We're the state nomination agent of Trade Investment Queensland. So I'm very honored to be here, to be invited by Richard Wang and Don Chen to be here to talk to you. I was in Hong Kong back in November 2019, and was also with Don and Richard, and also met Sarah that time, first time. So I was very well overwhelmed by the Hong Kong people's interest in coming to Queensland to do business or live here. And I believe a lot of people from Hong Kong used to study in Australia or even in Queensland, or have some living experience or family connections in Queensland or broadly in whole other parts of Australia. So just conserve time, I go straight to my presentation, give you some basic picture of what BSMQ, Business Skill Migration Queensland, do involved in the business migration program. Hang on, I just say how to move the screen. Not working, huh? Richard, do you know how to? I see what I can do now. It's not moving.
Yeah, you still just like.
Here we are.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how many people online at the moment. How many of you have been to Queensland before?
Yeah, anyone that has been Queensland, can you give us a buzz? You can shake your hand or whatever or something like that. Yeah, we do see someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can see it from the comment page. Yeah, Sylvia, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I just keep running. I think some of you may have some idea about the state nomination visa, which is a business innovation and investment program. So as a state nomination agency, we involve in both business visas and skill visa nomination. I don't know how many people haven't been to Queensland before or haven't heard about Queensland. So here we give a brief picture about how Queensland stands in Australia. We're the second largest state in Australia, next to Western Australia, in terms of the size. Population-wise, we may be after New South Wales and Victoria. But it's a fast-growing state. We have metropolitan cities from southeast Queensland all the way to far north Queensland along the coast. And we have very sound infrastructure, including 6 international airports and a lot of regional airports and more seaports where we ship out all the agricultural products or coal products or minerals to international clients. The cost of living in Queensland, I think some of you may have been to Melbourne or Sydney before. You will find in Queensland is more livable cities, mainly because we have more affordable house price, and we have a very quiet, not quiet, beautiful environment for lifestyle. We have a lot of migrants from other parts of the world, like South Africa, India, China, Taiwan, of course, Hong Kong, and the Middle East countries. They all like to enjoy the beach lifestyle here. Of course, a lot of people like the blue sky and the fresh air. So distance-wise, you can catch the direct flight from Brisbane or Cairns to Hong Kong, direct flight, Cathay Pacific, before the shutdown of the COVID-19 travel restriction. We also have a direct line from Toowoomba to Hong Kong to send all the cargoes, especially agricultural products, to Hong Kong. The Toowoomba, we have the first private airport in Australia. So it's very significant development in Queensland. Queensland government support the business, so we welcome investment from other countries, from international investors. The government have advanced Queensland grants for people want to involved in innovative business. And climate-wise, I think you all know we have we are called a sunshine state, so we have a lot of sunny days, maybe except today, which we have a storm came earlier, so we have some rain for the hot weather. But on average, we have very pleasant climate. Even it's hot in the day in summer, like 30 degrees or even 35, but in the evening it will cool down to 25 or 26 degrees. So this image will give you a brief idea, affordable house price, both apartments and the stand-alone house. I think in Hong Kong, most people live in small apartments. So in Australia, I think Sarah can tell you later, and also Dawn has experience too. They have a big backyard for young children. So it's very livable city for people, especially with young children, young family. A lot of people ask us what we can do in Queensland. I think that if you have been to Queensland or if you have been to Australia, you may well know, maybe aware that Queensland also leading in the healthcare industry. Currently under the COVID-19, Queensland has coped very well compared with other states or other part of the world in protect the citizen or Queensland residents against the virus, and we did a very good at the quarantine. So we have very low fatality or people catch the virus, and I think the country will still have 7 active cases, but it's mainly from people travel from overseas coming to Australia to Queensland. They were tested positive, but most part of Queensland, especially in regional area, it's most time life as usual, as normal. Some of the sectors like in tourism could be affected, but they slowly recover. So Queensland has very healthy, network to provide private health and also public health. So it depends on what kind of health insurance you have. If you have private health, you can go to private hospital. But if you can't afford the private health insurance, you can, of course, get treated in public hospital or GP. As I said before, welcome investment in Queensland, and compared with other states, Queensland export has grown over the year. It's a very healthy export industry here, and we currently major industry including food, egg, mining resources. As I said before, we export a lot of coal products and also rich in minerals. We're Queensland leading Australia in the tourism industry, so we have a Great Barrier Reef, beautiful beach, and we also have a tropical rainforest. We also have outback. So from south to north and from east coast to the west, we have a very diversified geographic attraction for tourists. Education-wise, before the COVID-19, we have a lot of international students coming to Queensland for study, and I will talk about that detail later. Health knowledge industries, which we strongly promote at the moment, especially in the biotech, healthcare, aged care industry sectors. Urban development infrastructure, you can see all the cranes in Brisbane or Gold Coast, or even regional cities. There's a lot of construction happening. So it's a very vibrant city life here. Food egg, just quickly let you know, Queensland is the largest producer of beef products. We have a lot of cattle farms. We export maybe 70% of beef products of whole Australia. I think a lot of Hong Kong people have tasted the Wagyu beef produced in Queensland. And we, like Queensland government, we organize a trade mission to Hong Kong almost every year in the past. And beef export is one of the major products that we did. The other products is like a fruit, vegetable. I think you can also find a lot of processed food from Australia, some of them from Queensland. We produce a lot of like the mangoes. Hong Kong people love the big mangoes, which produce normally in far north Queensland or Northern Territory. Queensland also produce a lot of citrus, which is like mandarin, lemon, or what's called the orange, yeah. And avocado. Again, a couple of years ago, we led a trade mission to Hong Kong, food mission to Hofix, which is the largest trade show in Asia. And we have a company from Sunshine Coast. They present a very big avocado. So we have a good reputation for green, healthy food products. Banana, again, another major tropical fruit from Queensland. Queensland also exports a lot of green products, especially from Tomba, West Darling Down region, also Bundaberg area. So we have a lot of barley, wheat export, sorghum, chickpea, all this, mung beans. Seafood, again, we produce a lot of prawns from Queensland, span crabs, fish, scallop, you just name it, and the Moreton Bay bag. Mining industry resources, I will not go into details, but apart from the traditional coal products, we also heavily invest in renewable energy. So because we have a very lot of sunny days, more and more residential houses are using solar panels, and also apply to the commercial sectors, so like the shopping center, hospital, farms. They all use solar to generate energy. Hydrogen is currently the renewable target the government want to achieve, and we welcome investment in the hydrogen sector. And I think at the bottom is the location where we produce the major minerals, Bowen Basin, which is coal products. We have a lot of investment, large investment from China, India, or even Japan, South Korea. They make investment in Queensland's coal sectors. And Queensland also produce a lot of liquefied natural gas export to Asia. So we have a lot of resources and opportunities here. Tourism, I think many people have seen beautiful pictures of the Great Barrier Reef and like the Whitsunday Daydream Island, or you can see the very blue sky, green water, pristine environment. And we have a lot of Asian people coming to Queensland just for wedding. So we have a couple of business migrants invest in the wedding venues, like the guest house, turn into wedding function areas or host conference, host wedding families. So that could be something you can think about for your investment in the future. So from far north Queensland, like Cairns, tropical rainforest, all the way down to Townsville, Mackay, Whitsunday area. Very beautiful islands. We have a lot of national parks. Fraser Island, which near the Harvey Bay, where you can see the whales, big whales, and also what's called some other sea creatures like the dolphins. Yeah. And it's a World Heritage listed area, so it's very beautiful. Gold Coast, I think I think most people will be aware there's a theme park, beach, Mount Tambourine rainforest. So of course, Sunshine Coast is another major tourist destination for our international tourists. So we currently hope we can recover slowly from the COVID-19 economic recovery, and we can attract more tourists coming back after the travel restriction is lifted. International education, I think we also have a lot of collaboration with the Hong Kong education agents or other organizations to attract Hong Kong students coming here for study. We have the universities, TAFE, vocational education, and our high school, private, public. We've got all the numbers here. You can have a look when you have time. But we offer most of the degrees and courses it's very quality programs. And we have a lot of graduates here. They found a good job in Australia and continue to live here, or they go back to Hong Kong to find a good job with international companies. Yeah, so this is a major university in Queensland, like University of Queensland, QUT, Queensland University of Technology. I'm not going into details, but Trade Invest Queensland also have an organization called Study Queensland. They can help you if you want to send your children to study here. We can provide more information from higher education to primary school, where the school you want to locate. We can provide more information to you.
Yeah, I just want to add that I graduated in CQ University.
Sorry, who graduated at CQU?
Yeah, me.
Oh, yourself, okay. Yeah, CQU has a lot of campuses across Queensland.
Yeah.
You can see Rockhampton. I think they have
across the country.
Yeah, across countries. Yeah, in Townsville, so in Cairns. So, so some people they just travel around, and then same time they study.
Yeah, I think we have classmates overseas as well.
Yes, they have alumni. I think in Hong Kong you have a UQ Alumni Association, and also QUT Alumni Association, Griffith University Alumni Association. So they are very active organizations. Health and knowledge industries. I think I mentioned briefly before, so I'm not going to repeat. But we do have a very a strong network here to deliver, health service. And more and more they go to digital, online e-health solutions, more integrated, for your health check, or some people they need an operation. I think there's a lot of people from Asia, they come here for medical visas because they want to have a special treat for their disease in Australia. And Queensland is one of the places that are looking for these kind of solutions, medical solutions. Yeah, so I think a 3D bioprint, that's all we welcome. If like AI, robotic technology, if you're interested in this kind of investment, we'll most welcome you. We have a small team here, can also help you to link the Queensland industries. As I said before, we also have Advanced Queensland, which can provide more support if you have a new technology or new innovation service products bring over to Queensland. I think in the past, we also have a lot of collaboration between hospitals and universities in biotech, in healthcare areas. We have some collaboration with Hong Kong, but in Asia, maybe we collaborate more with mainland China and Korea, Japan. If you have a particular interest, we can discuss this at a later stage. Urban development, I'll show you more pictures about all the development happening in Queensland, especially in Southeast Queensland corner. So construction industry is one of the pillar industries in Queensland. So I may think a picture can tell you more. So this is a night view of Brisbane. That's the South Bank, and this is a bigger building. This one is 1 William Street, where I'm standing now, the new government building, but that's all the CBD area. Compared with Hong Kong, it's not big, but in Australia, like in Queensland and Brisbane, we have a small CBD, but a very spread out suburbs. So people live very comfortable life in their own backyard. Each suburb, they have a central, like a satellite city. So shopping or public health or public schools or other public transport, it's also very easy, can take you to wherever you want. So on the south side, this is South Brisbane, which is a cultural center. And we have what's called a world event happening, or World Expo in 1988. After that, we turned it into a park. And very soon there will be another bridge built over here, because here we got a Queen's Wharf development. So here's more major projects is currently underway in Brisbane. We're going to build a new entertainment center, Queen's Wharf Development, which is a collaboration, consortium of a Hong Kong developer or business conglomerate with Star Entertainment in Australia. They rebuild the casino and build a new entertainment center, the office building, new retail complex, Cross River Rail, and new rail stations, metro, and also Victoria Park redevelopment, which is a golf park. So here more projects on the way. So you can see a lot. Brisbane is getting very busy with a lot of new construction happening. And this is a big picture of Brisbane. Brisbane River is very winding, but either side of Brisbane River, there's a lot of the residential areas. This is what I mentioned before about the Queen's Wharf for Brisbane development. So this is 1 William Street, which is already built. So currently they're building the foundation for these 3 towers and this main complex. And there will be new bridge cross the river. And this is the old casino building. And this is the old Queensland government building. So in 2 years, when you come back to Brisbane, you will find there's a completely new look in this corner, which is behind the Botanic Garden. I just quickly mention what the Queensland government can provide support to business migrants. This is what happened before in 2019. We hosted almost every year a seminar for new business migrants. We have one session for Chinese-speaking migrants, another English session for Mandarin-speaking migrants. So we share the experience about of the migration journey to Queensland, how they established a business successfully. Like this gentleman from China, he established a very large consortium for medical health industry. He has a collaboration with Japan and China, so bring over new technology for medical equipment and technology. And we have people from regional team to tell us, what's other parts of Queensland opportunities can present to you, can showcase to you. So we're trying to help you to build your network. And we also organize a road show. This happened again in 2019, before the COVID-19 hit. So we take a group of more than 30 business migrants and also migration agents to Bundaberg, Whitebaber region to visit 5 local regional councils. Regional council may host the dinner for our delegates, and they visit like a strawberry farm and the bean wholesalers, and the factory which they fabricate the coating, with the coating, and it's free of cost. So it was a very good open mind experience for our migrants. We have some migrants enjoying immediately after this road show come back to talk to the people they met on their trip and reach business deals for agriculture export or investment in their farms. So they have been very good outcome for us. So there's another picture about people visit the sweet potato the shed, and we have also Vietnamese investor made a strawberry farm for 3 million. So we help you to build connections, because Queensland government have a regional network where we know people on the ground can help you identify the business opportunities and help you build a network, make introductions. This was back in, I think the date was wrong, should be 2018, sorry. This was I think this picture I was there was back in 2018, because Beef Australia is the largest beef expo in Australia every 3 years. So back in 2018, we took road show for people from Vietnam, Taiwan, and China to visit the beef capital, Rockhampton, of Australia. And we also took people on the bus all the way further north to Macau Sunday. Along the way, we went to a couple of cattle farms, give people more insights about the cattle farm operation and the beef breeding technologies. And in the week Sunday, a lot of people for their first visit, they see Daydream Island, have a cruise on the ocean, and experience the Great Barrier Reef. And one of our Chinese clients actually, he went back to Ailey Beach, which is a very well-known tourist destination, and he's the one that purchased a wedding venue and attract a lot of tourists. Yeah.
I think there's a golf course in Hamilton Island.
Yes, they do. Hamilton Island, yes. And like I said, Daydream Island, a couple of years ago, another Chinese from Shanghai, I think Shanghai Capital Group, they also made a 30 million investment into that island. And afterwards, they purchased another island next to it. So there was a lot of, investors. I think that we also have a Hong Kong investor years ago. Yes. They purchased island and resorts in Cairns, which is also Great Barrier Reef area. So they have a number of development in that region. So that's including hotel development, winery, and also restaurant, resort redevelopment. Yeah. So there have been a lot of happening. So this is a picture of where Queensland government has a international network. In Asia, we have most our offices. So Hong Kong office, which is one of the longest overseas posts TIQ have. So you can see we can reach out to Asia Pacific for our Queensland business, and also bring over investment from overseas. Okay, so after this, I quickly touch on the business nomination program. This is the latest figure. We haven't got a 2020 to 21 figure, but for the financial year 2019 to 20, we had our 670 nominations, which is all the quota we use up. So the assets to be transferred, which is proposed by the migrants, and we can see all the figures. That's including investment in the government bonds, investment in major funds, but mostly invest in the business. And these are all the jobs they proposed. The industries, most of our 188 business innovation clients and also 132 clients proposed to invest for the last financial year. Majority is wholesale, which including they distribute products or export. Export products. A lot of people they want to do export. Construction 16%. That's also including the property development. But I just let you know, property development may be more suitable for people have the 132 visa, not the 188 visa, which is have a time limit for it to engage in property projects. Retail is more like the small retail shop or supermarket or not convenience store, like the small retail shop with a variety of products. There's a accommodation and food service that's including cafe, restaurant, or motel business, or resort business, or hotel business. Professional scientific technical service is more like you bring over like a set of IT service company. You do some people they do like the consulting for the telecommunication equipment, or some people want to do projects like for recently I got someone want to do sewage consulting, which is for urban development. So we have quite a diversified range of sectors people looking at investment. Of course, from government point of view, we want you to invest in manufacturing. We do have some good case people successfully invest in pet food manufacturing from scratch. The factory is set up in Sunshine Coast, and the pet food, Australian pet food export a lot to other countries. So he currently sells in Australia, but he's trying to export to other countries as well. And he developed his own range of brands and products for pet, like the dogs food and the cats food. And that was a very good example. So basically you can do whatever you like, but look at your own skills, your experience, your expertise, and your financial situation, how much money you can invest, and what kind of business you want to start, where you want to start. The next one quickly is a country where the migrants from. So we compare the last two financial years. Still, China is our biggest portion of source of migrants, but you can see over the years the number percentage have dropped from 80% to 54%, now coming down to 44%. So we have a more diversified source of migrants. So the pie you can look more colorful. And Hong Kong, we have seen a large increase since mid 2019. I believe a lot of Hong Kong people, they used to study in Australia or have been visited Australia for family or for holidays, but then afterwards they go back to Hong Kong. But recently they found another reason to return to Australia. So we would welcome you guys coming back to Queensland. Apart from Hong Kong, Vietnamese is a fast-growing market for us. People want to come to Australia, to Queensland. South African, I think, is more for political reasons or security, because some people, they think Australia is offer a very safe environment for their children, their family living, and also we have very sound system for you to operate a business. Korea, Taiwan, India. Korea, Taiwan is traditionally our business migrants source country. India, we used to have a lot of skilled migrants, but we have seen more and more people, business people want to come to Queensland. Sri Lanka, Iran, Malaysia, they are all traditional country of source for migration to Queensland. Sectors. This is a chart that can see the history. Business skill migration Queensland, we changed our criteria on the 14th of July 2016. So you can see in the past when our criteria was very strict, we don't have too many applications or nominations. But after mid 2016, the number has jumped significantly, both for 132 visa and 180 visa. So that's a comparison. But the majority they're on the 180 visa category. So this is a breakdown of the number last financial year, the investment pie. And I think I give you the figures before, so this is more detailed. 888, yeah, so we all know 180 visa is provisional visa. It has a pathway to permanent residency. So we did a recent calculation. You can say most people, they got the innovation stream. More than half of the visa holders. The next one is the investor stream. We have a majority of people from Hong Kong choose to apply for 188 investor stream. People with more wealth or they don't have a business background, they may or they are over 55, they will choose a significant investor stream, which is a 5 million investment. So we forecast the number of people coming to 888 stage will significantly increase over the years, and there will be more people, coming on shore. Yeah, and that's the outcome. The investment made by the migrants. The visa stream, Queensland nomination criteria. I think it's very basic. I think I would touch on again. I want to say too much about this, but it's very basic. You have to be under 55. You have to either purchase a new business or invest an existing business in Queensland, and you have to show a commitment to live in Queensland and do business in Queensland, and you have to submit a business proposal. The business proposal we'll talk about it later, but currently on the current Queensland nomination criteria, our threshold is very low. You only need to transfer 1.5 million Australian dollars assets, and out of this 1.5 million, you put 1 million into your proposed business in Queensland. The remaining 500,000, half million, you can use your family settlement. We have occasionally some people tell me they're just past 55, you still want to apply for 132. We may give you an age waiver, but you have to increase the investment level from the normal 1 million to 3 million. And we also encourage you to go to regional areas. But if you want to seek for age waiver, you have to talk to us individually. We look at your EOI and make an initial assessment and tell you how to progress further. The innovation stream 188, which is very popular for a lot of Hong Kong applicants. Again, the age is a cutoff, 55. Points test, 65 at the moment. Queensland, compared with other states, we haven't raised the bar for the points test because we believe it's not a high points can guarantee you have more skills or more financial capabilities to make investment. We look at the overall picture of your capabilities. Some people, because of age, they may not have a lot of points for age, but they have a lot of business experience, they have a lot of financial capabilities, make more investment. So even they have lower points, they can still qualify to seek for Queensland nomination. So again, the investment level only 200,000 minimum. You have to transfer 800,000 to Queensland. Out of this 800, you put 200 into your business. The small entry level business like a retail, cafe, restaurant, you can still make an investment in Brisbane or Gold Coast, but we encourage you to look at the larger scale business, not the small takeaway food. I think if you have run cafe before, you will say it's not an easy business. You have to work very hard. Get up maybe 5 o'clock or even 4 o'clock in the morning to start your day, and work all the way to the night because after you close shop, you have to do a lot of paperwork. In Australia, you can't afford to employ too many people, so you have to do a lot of things yourself. So you have to work long hours. So it's not easy to become a boss, especially run business like a restaurant or cafe, which is quite labor intensive. But if you have enough money or funds, you can look at purchase or start a larger scale franchise cafe like a coffee club, or previously I have a Japanese client who opened 2, I think he runs 2 Japanese sushi restaurants in Japan. He's a chef himself. So he told me he wanted to come to Queensland and open another sushi restaurant, very Japanese cuisine. But he has a long-term strategy to open 2 outlets at least. So he will first open one on the Gold Coast, but at the second he will open another one in Brisbane or the other part of Queensland. So we approve this kind of business. Even he initially wanted to open the restaurant in Gold Coast or in Brisbane, but he has a long-term plan and also make big investment, not a very small investment. So if you can,
more about the business plan.
So if you can double your investment level like 400 or even 500 or at least 350, you can still do cafe or restaurant or small like a supermarket business in Brisbane and Gold Coast. But of course, regional, there's a similar opportunity as well. But if you establish this business in regional area, you can still purchase small one like a 200,000 business. Invest stream, again, 55 is the age cut. Points test 65, but you have to make sure you have at least 2.25 million funds to be transferred, and out of this 2.25 million, you have to put 1.5 million into the Queensland Treasury Corporation bond for 4 years. This investment you have to make before you are granted visa. And the residence requirement is 2 years out of 4. And I just quickly mention, you can swap your role with your partner or with your spouse at the AAA stage, both for 180 visa, invest stream, and the innovation stream. But for invest stream, you have to make sure when you purchase a QTC bond, both you and your spouse make the investment together. You can't say, the husband purchased the bond himself and later want the wife to apply for 888. No, you can't. You both have to purchase a bond together, and in the later stage, if the wife can live here with the children studying in Australia, in Queensland, then the wife can become the prime applicant for the permanent residency visa application. How to apply? So you can talk to your migration agent in the later stage to work out the details. Significant investor stream, I mentioned before, they have no age limit, so you can either seek a nomination from Queensland government, state government, or from Austrade. But I know County Austrade has some issue with the online system. They ask people to come to state government for nomination. But the compliant investment framework is a bit complicated. So again, I suggest you talk to your migration agent and the manager fund company to look at what kind of fund product you want to choose. Because at the time you apply for Queensland nomination, you have to tell us what kind of fund you want to make investment. There's a lot of conditions, terms and conditions set up by the fund company. VC fund obviously more risky, and manager fund, there's a mixture, a lot of products. So you have to talk to the fund manager to see what kind of products you can purchase. Balanced investment could be more conservative, but again, you have to look at the composition of the fund products and make sure, doesn't matter which fund that you choose, have to make sure they're complying with the immigration requirement. And normally, before you are granted with the 180 visa, you're asked to make investment in a compliant investment. And the fund company, the fund manager had to sign the Form 1413B to ensure the fund products is compliant. I'll quickly give you some updates about the Business Innovation Investment Program. This program started from 1st July 2012. So it's close to 10 years. So it's time for it to make a big change. So Immigration Department, after consultation last year, decided to make it effective change on 1st July 2021. And the current financial year, which is 1st July 2020 to 30 June 2021, Queensland had 1,200 places, which is nomination quota for the program. Compared with the other states, Queensland nomination quota is not big. Even county financial year, we have almost double the quota, but that's still not enough. We receive so many applications at the moment. I think it's mainly because some other states, they have make their criteria very strict, very difficult to meet. So a lot of agents think, oh, I have to send clients to Queensland. So we count the priority process in 18132 visa significant business history stream, then coming down to 188 innovation stream, then SRV stream, then entrepreneur stream. And last one is a 180 invest stream. You don't have to worry too much about 180 invest stream. Actually, that visa stream can be processed very quickly because compared with it does not require business proposal, so can be assessed very easily. So normally we can't have a dedicated person to process a 180 investor stream. Normally, if you lodge your documents up to the requirement and pay the application fee on time, your application can be processed within a week. For your proposed investment, we encourage you to look at your investment will be more productive investment, not a passive investment. Can bring in new innovation, new technology, and create new jobs. And if you can, set your business in Queensland, the regional area, that will be most welcome and most encouraged. So the other changes about this BIP program, I think you may have heard the visa stream will be streamlined to 4 visa streams. So 132 visa will be completely abolished, and the 180 visa stream only keep the innovation, entrepreneur, investor, and significant investor stream. But the good thing for the 180 visa, you will have a 5-year visa now. So if you meet the requirement, the residence requirement, the investment requirement, you can apply for 888 visa after 3 years living in Queensland or in Australia. But some people may have some difficulties to meet the requirement immediately. You're allowed to extend the visa once for 188 innovation stream, twice for 188 significant investor stream. We can talk to this in details if you have more specific questions. Another change from 1st July 2021 is very obvious for business innovation stream is if you currently own a business in Hong Kong, you have to make sure your business it's not your business assets, your net business assets and personal assets should be up from 800,000 to 1.25 million. The annual turnover requirement will be changed from 500,000 to 750,000. So that's a fair bit increase. So again, encourage you to talk to your migration agent, your accountant, to sit down, look at your assets, your financials, see whether you can be eligible after 1st July if you want to apply that time. Queensland nomination criteria will of course have to change accordingly, but we are still waiting for the federal government to give more details about the immigration criteria. Then we can work out our criteria. I think one good thing about the entrepreneur visa, you don't have to worry about the third-party funding agreement about 200,000, which a lot of people find it's not easy to get, and maybe does not make sense. So in the future, you have to seek endorsement from state government. But of course, we have to look at your business proposal, whether it's innovative business, or you can bring new technology innovation. The 180 SRV, the compliant investment framework, details will be announced, I think, either in March or April, before the 1st July. I think currently immigration is still looking for consultation. So if you have any comments, you can submit to immigration department about this compliant investment framework. And how to apply for the Queensland nomination, it's a very easy step, you just follow this step and it's not difficult. But again, I encourage you to talk to professional people to do your paperwork assessment first. Our process is very streamlined. If you are eligible for both Queensland nomination criteria and the immigration criteria, you can prepare documents and submit the EUI and skill set. And when your EUI is picked up by BSMQ and got the invitation, we'll give you 2 weeks to prepare your documents and fill the forms. Once you submit the forms online through our BSMQ online portal and pay the application fee, we have the fee scheme online. Currently is 500 Australian dollars for 188, 750 for 132 applications. So once we receive your applications and payment, we're trying to process within 2 weeks. Maybe except at the moment because we have hundreds of applications on hand, we can't cope it. So the processing time at the moment is longer than usual time. But once you got the nomination, you must submit your visa application within 2 months, 60 days. So that's why I keep telling you, you have to get all your documents ready before you submit a EUI. I just give you a few ideas how you submit a decision-ready nomination applications. Again, you have to talk to your professional people like a migration agent. Both Dawn and Richard are very experienced agents for business visas. The reason I had to mention this, I can give you an example. I have some Hong Kong gentleman contact me recently. He submitted his application years ago. Initially he wanted to apply for 188. So he did not want to engage a migration agent. He did it all himself. He think I can understand English, I can DIY myself. Okay, it's not compulsory for you to use the agent. So if you want to do it yourself, do it yourself. But unfortunately, he did not understand the migration criteria that well. When he put on the EUI, he put his assets, business and the net personal assets very high. He put his personal turnover very high. So on the EUI, we can see he can be eligible for 132 visa, significant investor stream, business history stream. So I sent him an email to ask him, you may be eligible for another visa. So do you want to look at the other options? But you have to make your own decision. There's all the information online. You read yourself, decide which visa you want to go ahead. So in the end, he decided to apply for 132. But just before Christmas, he got a letter or email actually email from immigration department. Ask him all these questions about his assets, his business performance, his financial statements in Hong Kong. So he got a panic. He don't understand the questions asked by immigration officer. He don't know how to answer the questions. So he come to me again. He trying to blame me. Said, "Oh, you asked me to change your visa options. So what should I do now?" I have to tell him, "I'm sorry, I did not make a decision for you. You decide yourself which visa you choose. So you make your own decision. You take your own responsibility." So at this stage, because you do not use agent, you don't know how to respond to the immigration department, because they normally give you only 28 days to respond, 4 weeks. So in the end, I recommended him to talk to a very experienced migration agent. The agent told me later, this person still argue about the fee service fee had to pay to the agent. And the agent found out all his documents is not in order or not prepared very well, has a lot of issues. The agent spent a lot of time helped him to address to the the immigration officer, case officer, to answer all the questions, help him to fix the problem. Because all the questions, all the criteria set by the immigration department is in accordance to the migration law. It's not something very subjective. It's all based on the law, migration law. The migration agents, they spend a lot of time to understand the law. They take up all the training, the course. So they are professionally understand against each law how I can prepare documents for you. You even can understand English. Maybe you know your business very well, but you don't understand the Australian migration law. So that comes a knowledge gap. You don't know how to deal with it. Immigration officer asks questions, you don't know what to do, you got panic. And they give you limited time to respond. So I don't know whether he got a visa at this stage, but at least the migration agent stepped in last minute, help him to resolve the issue. So that's one typical example. I have another lady from Hong Kong, was last year. Again, she asked me so many questions about the 180 visa investor stream. Again, she did not use an agent. So when the immigration officer asked her to put the money to purchase QC bond, she did not know how to do it. She still asked a very funny question. She said, "Oh, I got my bank deposit, it hasn't been mature yet. Can I delay my investment to the QTC bond?" So if the agent would tell you at the very beginning, you can't do that. You can't negotiate with immigration officer. They ask you to make assessment of your documents, ask you to make the technical investment. They give you time frame. You have to do it immediately. Otherwise, you just miss opportunity. They will not wait for you. So you have to look at your option, whether you want a visa or you want to hold on your interest payment from your bank. So that lady, obviously, she does not understand the migration law, does not understand the process. And she at last minute, she just mess around too much.
And I'm pretty sure that lady is not Sarah.
No. Investor stream, as I said, Sarah is an innovation stream. But that's example I just tell you, because you don't have experience, you don't have knowledge, you don't know about the law, you just try and think I can do DIY. But the migration is a very complex thing, especially for business visas. It's not just like yourself, the English, you can speak English, you can do it yourself. We have a lot of people from England, from UK, from South Africa. They still use a migration agent because they understand they have very complicated, business structure, assets. Especially people from South Africa. I think Hong Kong may be similar. They use a trust, and this trust they have different companies, so they have to make your business structure very complicated. When you have to sort all this paperwork, it's not an easy task. Some people think I can talk to the accountant. Accountant know my stuff. But the accountant is not migration agent. They don't know the migration law, so they may not be able to give you the right advice. And sometimes some people think, "Oh, I can do myself," or "I found a friend to help me. I can save money." But in the end, you don't save money. Just like the gentleman I mentioned earlier, in the end, he still has to seek service from professional migration agent who has a lot of experience. You still have to pay the application, the fee for the service, and at the last stage, they make you feel very stressful because you don't know how to do it. Actually, the backwards, forwards communication with the immigration officer waste a lot of time. If you have done all the paperwork correctly at the beginning, you may got the visa straight away. You don't have to, provide more information or answer all these questions from immigration officer because they're not happy with your paperwork, with the documents you submitted. And some people, they make a false claim of the points, 188. Then immigration will just think you are not honest. Because at the EOI, all the points you claim, you have to provide evidence. A lot of people, I come across some people from India or some Middle East countries, they do themselves. Or some people from Pakistan, they tell me, oh, I got 100 points, that's great. But in the end, they could not provide evidence. They just think I have all these assets. But in the end, they found out this house owned by his brother, his parents, not completely owned by himself. So he cannot claim the 100% ownership of the assets. He does not understand that. So he claims he has maybe 50 points, 20 points, 35 points against the assets. But in the end, that's not the right thing he did. In the end, he loses points. He could not provide all the evidence to immigration officer, just a waste of time and waste money for the application fee. So that's all I tell you, the lesson from other people you might want to avoid in the future. Some people want to do shortcut. There's nothing is a shortcut. You have to do step by step. Australian visa application is a very structured way. If you follow step by step, it's not difficult. And you work together with your agents, with your accountants, put all documents right in the beginning. They will save you a lot of harm at a later stage. So that's all I want to tell you here. And of course, if you get a visa, you have to answer your obligations as a visa holder, the nomination conditions and the visa requirement. That's very important for your second stage AAA application or 132 visa survey. 132 visa, even it's a permanent resident visa, but you are obliged to meet the 132 visa monitoring process 2 to 3 years after the visa grant. That means you have to demonstrate your commitment to do your business, make an investment in the state which nominates you. So again, I'll repeat, you have to make sure all your documents prepared before you lodge your visa. Just this week, I have another agent from other state tell me, oh, my client from China cannot sign the documents on time. So he missed deadline to submit the visa in December. Can you give me another chance to seek a nomination again? I said, sorry, we can't do that within 6 months. We have so many people waiting there to get a nomination from Queensland. You, as a migration agent, they did not prepare the documents before the visa, before the EOI. So the agent takes the responsibility. You have to wait for another 2 months to come back to seek for nomination again. Because in the past, people seek nomination 3 times within a year. That's way too much. That's waste your time, waste your money for application fee, and Queensland have a limited quota, and just waste our quota. We better give a chance to other people.
There is a 6 month gap before they can apply another.
Yeah, we don't want you to. We put this information on our website as well. So we don't want to nominate the same person within 6 months. If you want to have another nomination, wait for 6 months after the first nomination.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So lastly, I just quickly tell you other changes we're going to happen. BSMQ going to change our name back to Migration Queensland. We're going to change our logo and new branding, which corresponds with the Trade Invest Queensland and new branding. So we are going to have a new website very soon, and hopefully we can share with you with more useful information online. So this is my colleagues in the team. We are a very small team. We have both people working on skill visa and business visa, but we're always trying to help you. So if you have more specific questions, you can ask us directly or coming through your migration agent. So thank you very much. And here's a BSMQ contact details. We have a Weibo for Chinese market, for Twitter and Facebook. So you can monitor our updates online. Yeah. So thank you again for spending time listening to me. I will stay on to answer more questions later.
Yeah, Cynthia, thanks. I guess you cover quite a number of questions that I want to ask. So I want to give the opportunity to some people already post the question on the Facebook already. So okay, let me tell everyone. Tonight we are focused on Queensland state nomination and migration to Queensland. So some high-level migration requirement, visa requirement, we may not cover tonight. But there's a question, very important question, Cynthia. Quinton asked, BSMQ state nomination, is that will be closed by 12 o'clock tonight? And if so, what will happen?
Yes. Unfortunately, we have to close our nomination program tonight, midnight, Brisbane time. The reason is because we didn't receive a lot of applications. There's a lot of backlog. And as I said before, we only have 1,200 quota for the current financial year. We also said that we're trying to reopen maybe in April, but that depends whether immigration department can give us more quota. We are going to lobby the Department of Immigration to Home Affairs to give Queensland more quota. As I said before, compared with the other states, Queensland quota level is always relatively lower. Yeah, so that may not be evenly spread across states.
Yeah.
Okay, and then another question is they want to know whether Queensland state nomination. Okay, we're talking about in the next 2 hours, right? Is this still based on first come first serve? If they meet the requirement.
Yes, I think I also mentioned earlier about the application steps. You submit an EOI when you're ready to apply. Submit a we invite you. Then you submit the documents, pay the application fee. We process. We have sometimes under special circumstance, like people is going to turn 55, or they're going to lose points because they're going to become 40. There's a cutoff time for date of birth for the age issue. And we have some people they're unsure. They maybe hold previously hold an employment visa or other visa. They want to apply for 180 visa, so their current visa going to expire. And they want to apply onshore. They want to apply onshore. No, bridging visa they have to go offshore to apply, but some visa allow them to apply a substantive visa onshore. So under this kind of situation, you send us an email through your agent, tell us why you have to request processing in priority, or your EI had to be processed quickly. Give us a good reason, then we will consider.
Okay. All right. Sarah, I see you have some question.
Yeah. Yes, Cynthia.
Hello.
Just now you just mentioned about the event, which is in the first time I also met you when you talk about like Queensland government have a lot of event, which is very interesting and which is very nice. But how we can join it?
To join our events, in the past, we normally send out through email because when you get a visa, like a 180 visa innovation stream and a 132 visa significant invest stream, we require you to report to us when you get a visa arrive in Queensland. So we help you go through your business ideas because current visa processing time is more than 18 months. So you may have different ideas when you got a visa, when you finally settle down in Queensland. Like Sarah, once you got a visa, you have to make sure you pack and go, right? Some people, we have a lot of people from South Africa and from Malaysia, they have trouble to sell their business in the country or sell their properties. So they can't come here immediately. It may take them another 12 months, eventually come to Queensland to settle down to their business. So after 2 years or 3 years after they got Queensland nomination, the market could change. Their original business idea may not be viable, or the market they may have some different ideas, or their friends or their consultants give them some new suggestions they want to change. You can change your business ideas or business proposal. Just come back to us in writing to seek for approval, and we can also help you go through this process. It's a simple process. For the events you want to participate, we have a record of your email address. So when you lodge your application, give us your own email address. We invite you through email. We also send out the information through Twitter, Facebook, or other social media. And in the past, we organized like a seminar, as I said, or roadshow. So we try to do it once a year. Like this year in May 2021, as I said before, we are going to have a beef Australia event again. BSMQ will still involved, but we may not have the resource to organize a big roadshow this year because COVID-19 and travel restrictions. But if you have particular interest in beef or cattle farm business, you can let us know. We can give you the opportunity to get involved.
Great. Thank you so much. Looking forward to any events so that we can join later on.
Yes, the other events we had before was like a food show, mini food show. We had another one, but again in 2019, 2020, we could not do anything. We organized a mini food show. So we bring together the food supplies, processed food or other drinks, food, beverage drinks, manufactured here in Queensland from Sunshine Coast or from Bundaberg or Toowoomba, Brisbane, Gold Coast. We organize a venue. And also international buyers or business migrants, you can attend this food show, mini food show, so you can meet directly with the food suppliers or food manufacturers and talk about your export interest. Yeah. Again, had to talk about export. We want you to export the Queensland products, not products from other states. In the past, where some people say export wine, then the wine from South Australia. That's not what we want to say. We want to export Queensland products.
Sarah, don't do it. I know you like
Queensland has a lot of good products. You may not know very well, but come to us. We can help you to identify suitable products for export. Processed food, drinks, crops, other products. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah and Cynthia. I think next step is Don. You will need to help Sarah to make an appointment to catch up with Cynthia again very soon.
Sarah got her Instagram, and she's going to book you with a settlement meeting.
Yeah. Yes. Good. Currently, we may still have some restriction for the building access because of COVID-19, but especially 2020, we could not have face-to-face meeting because of the quarantine issue. But even with that restriction, we can still have a video conference like this one or teleconference. There's a lot of way we can help you around it. Because we have some people, they go to Cairns or Bundaberg. It may be difficult for them to travel to Brisbane to meet us in person, but we can offer face-to-face, video conference or teleconference. We can still talk through your business ideas.
Yeah. Great.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Cynthia.
Thank you.
And thanks very much. Very informative section. And I think this is the first time a lot of people know about. There's a lot of treasure in Queensland, and I can see someone already need to go and rush for their EOI in the next 2 hours. But remember, if you cannot meet the requirement, don't waste the quota, okay? Because you have to wait another 6 months. That will be the new regulations. All right.
Richard, I just mentioned, if you want to submit the EOI, you have to make sure in the business intention, you have more specific information. You don't have to provide too much, but be a bit more specific. I'll give you an example. Some agents are just trying to do a quick way. They said, my clients want to submit a business plan, see attachment, or they want to set up a business in Queensland. It did not tell us anything. You have to tell us what do you want to export, or what kind of business you want to purchase. Be a bit more specific. You don't have to give too many information, but at least very clear information. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Cool.
That's a good tip.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the good tip. All right. Thanks, Cynthia. Now we will turn to Sarah to share her life experience. And Cynthia, you are more than welcome to continue to stay here. Or okay. Sarah, your turn. Now Cynthia, you don't mind, we'll switch back to Cantonese channel. Okay.
Yes.
And I know you actually know Cantonese. All right, Sarah， 嗱到你啦，咁你試移民就試咗好耐啦，我知道啦。時間無多，可唔可以好簡短咁講下你個試移民嘅流浪 round the world 嘅歷程，同埋最後點解你會揀咗 Brisbane 咧，或者係 Queensland 咧？咁我知你直情係不計工本咁買機票過嚟嘅。
係
交俾你。
嗱，或者我又撳一撳我個相啦，等陣先嚇，其實都係少少。
你個 blog 係咪啊？你去得得唔得？
係啦。OK， 我而家可以。
OK， 我見到啦。
係啦。咁其實咧就係啦。其實我最初嘅時候咧都係有即係要睇下究竟係去等陣先啦。係啦，究竟係去即係英國呢個地方咧，即係我都有去睇過，因為當其時其實英國就即係有朋友話俾我聽英國有得去移民喎咁樣。咁當然佢嘅地方都好好玩啦，但係其實你睇到後邊嘅天氣咧，就係永遠都係咁樣白蒙蒙一片，即係好多時候都係會落雨啦，大家都會知道。咁跟住我哋再去，要撈陣間冇咗嘅，等陣先啊。再嚟係啦，咁跟住之後咧，當我哋再去澳洲嗱，呢個咧正正就係 Queensland 嘅一個
冇落 filter 㗎係嘛？呢啲
冇落㗎，想戴太陽眼鏡添㗎啦，真係好曬。但係佢好咧，就係其實因為我自己有2個小朋友啦，如果有睇我個 page 嘅咧，都知道咁我其實移民都係為咗小朋友啦，大家都知道。咁其實佢哋咧呢度有個好處就係，雖然大家都知道 Queensland 好曬，但係佢每一個 park 咧都會有呢啲咁樣嘅帳篷，咁咧就變咗，就算 even 佢微雨啦或者太曬咧，你都唔會覺得好辛苦嘅。咁係啊，即係佢玩嘅嘢係即係比較好玩啲嘅咁樣啦。咁就算好簡單如呢一個麥當勞咁計咧，其實咧喺我去英國同埋澳洲即係最大嘅呢2個分別嘅時候咧，其實就係英國嘅咧嘅麥當勞可能佢只係俾一個 iPad 你，即係已經係佢哋玩嘅嘢。咁當我哋去完英國再去澳洲去睇嘅時候咁當然我小朋友又比較細啦，咁我就係希望小朋友唔好成日望住嗰個 iPad 啊嘛，咁即係我希望佢玩嘅嘢可以係多啲啦。咁其實即係 even 一個麥當勞其實已經可以係好好玩咯，即係咁所以咧到最終再加上啦，咁我哋去超市啦，咁其實好多時即係因為其實我應該咁講啦，我好細個嘅時候咧，都已經即係屋企人都可能 face 過一次嘅話，就話我哋係咪應該要去移民咧？咁好多時候就大家都聽到啦，就係話佢哋都會回流或者個人。咁當其時我哋都冇移民到嘅，即係好多朋友移民翻嚟就係話其實係適應唔到生活或者各樣嘢。咁但係其實而家呢個新時代其實已經唔係再以前90年代嘅嗰種移民啦。第一啦，就好似我哋頭先講就係。我哋今時今日，我哋電腦科技發達咗好多，我哋可以好容易大家去online 就可以見到面啦，可以傾到偈啦，甚至乎即係點解上年 COVID 就更加大家都知道 home office 都係完全冇問題。咁呢一個咧唔係一個亞超嚟嘅，即係唔係一啲香港或者亞洲嘅超級市場，而係只不過係一個好普通澳洲最大嗰2間嘅
烏鏈嚟嘅，
係啊，極勁得，
係啦，呢個係 Woolworths 嚟。
佢有好多 sale 做緊㗎喎。
係啦，佢其實你見到即係你立眼望到有啲維他檸檬茶，即係有一啲好多香港嘅牌子 ，which 都好平，即係唔係一個好貴嘅嘢咯。咁其實要去即係你話要好亞洲嘅生活，其實或者好香港嘅生活，其實都好容易嘅。咁所以當時就即係啦，澳洲同英國咁，我哋去最大嘅呢2個地方去揀選啦。咁最終極咧，其實就即係呢一個就係我啱啱其實係最新鮮滾熱辣，講緊1個月，啱啱1個月啦，我1月24號上飛機嘅，咁咧就嚟到呢一度，咁嗰一日就真正去填話，我係可以嚟啦。咁其實係一個好漫長嘅時間，講緊我係由2018年嘅時候就申請啦。咁係啦，即係講緊2018到而家2021啦，講緊係2年幾嘅時間啦，即係一個好長嘅時間。其實我都等咗好耐。咁呢個就係我可能之後一陣間講少少就係關於我哋quarantine 啦，我可能如果有啲人都想知道quarantine 嘅生活會係點咧，咁我可以之後講嘅。咁我可以主要講翻
咁點解你又揀咗 Queensland 都不如話直接點解咁多個你又唔嚟我 Perth 嗰邊咧咁樣？
係咯，因為嗱，其實咧有即係幾個 state 啦，咁我自己就喺 Sydney 度住過啦。咁Sydney 咧我就覺得相對實在比較 即係已經同香港好似啦。咁其實我嚟即係我去揀一個新嘅地方去生活咧，其實就係唔想咁樣嘅咁香港啊。咁但係 Sydney 咧已經好香港啦。咁如果你揀翻 Sydney 之後咧，我就會 Melbourne、Adelaide、Queensland， 即係 I mean Brisbane 同埋 Perth 啦咁樣。咁Melbourne 咧，我自己個人就唔係太中意佢嘅天氣嘅，因為咧佢嘅天氣就好一日四季啦，唔係一年喎，係一日喎。咁我記得我哋係啊，我哋記得我帶我小朋友去Melbourne 去睇一睇嘅時候咧，當時係12月尾嚟嘅。咁which係我聖誕節，即係我哋嘅夏天啦。咁但係咧落機嗰一日咧係凍到要即刻買長袖衫嘅。即係我冇諗過，即係我諗住夏天話好熱噶喎，熱咁我唔使帶咁多嘢啦。但係竟然夜晚黑係凍到要周圍揾地方去買長袖衫。咁但係到第二朝咧，我哋架車即係一路揸車啦，我擺咗一本旅遊書喺嗰個車嘅前邊嗰度，佢又熱到溶咗喎，嗰本書嗰個膠嗰邊嗰條膠。咁所以哇，即係其實即係10幾去到40幾度嗰個溫差咧好大。咁我就自己就唔係好中意即係 Melbourne 啦咁樣，咁啊純粹係
四季啊嘛，出咗名㗎啦。
係啊，同埋其實咧，因為佢個時差咧，即係我其中幾中意 Brisbane 嘅一樣嘢咧，就係香港咧都係朝頭早，即係我哋慣咗就係可能6、7點鐘就一定係會天黑嘅。咁呢一度就係咁樣噶啦，無論四季都係會係呢個時間。咁我就覺得個作息咧就會比較 regular 啲，因為我哋都經歷過喺英國嘅時候咧，夏天啦，咁朝頭早4點幾咧有陽光咧，啲小朋友就醒咗。咁我最記得咧係嗰陣時夜晚黑，可能講緊7、8點咁食完晚飯，我就叫啲小朋友喂，你哋要瞓覺啦。跟住佢哋話我哋都未食晚飯，跟住我嚇頭先咪食咗咯。佢話唔係，因為頭先仲咁光，嗰個係晏晝嚟嘅咋，即係佢哋會覺得即係好嗰個時間上邊咧係有少少難適應嘅。咁Brisbane 有個好處就係好 regular 啦，啲時間係作息亦都好定時咁樣咯。咁所以我就但
係你都應該會唔習慣即係見到太陽食晚飯嘅喎。
其實而家都其實我哋食晚飯嘅時間就啱啱開始黃昏，所以我覺得都 OK 嘅。不過咧，的而且確嚟咗之後就好作息好定時，朝頭早可能5點零鐘咧聽到啲雀仔叫咧，我已經差不多要一齊起身。咁但係我都變咗好早就瞓覺啦。咁我啲朋友都話：哇，你而家係基本上係好早睡早起，即係一個好身體好健康嘅一個生活喎。咁雖然係咁啦，但係又唔代表 Brisbane 嘅生活係好悶嘅。即係咁講啦，因為有啲朋友可能會擔心就話你講到你好似農夫咁樣，即係可能8點幾你就要瞓覺，朝頭早又5點幾就起身。咁但係其實呢一度如果你要有一啲即係夜晚啲嘅生活，可能飲杯嘢啊或者各樣嘢，其實 which 係有嘅。咁但係只不過係因為我哋咧即係有小朋友之後，其實我哋其實一開初嘅時候應該咁講啦。我頭先都話我喺 Sydney 讀過書啦。咁嗰陣時的而且確咧，後生咧就覺得真係好悶嘅，即係哇咁早就即係咩都冇，又閂晒鋪，日日又要趕去5點鐘閂門個 shopping mall 咁樣，即係但係當我哋有咗小朋友之後咧，其實我同我先生兩個喺度傾就係其實我哋平日喺香港如果有小朋友，我哋都係咁早就會翻去瞓覺噶啦。其實可能夜晚黑我哋都喺屋企食飯噶啦，所以其實反而嚟到呢度嘅時候，我哋其實係幾習慣呢件事，同埋幾中意呢一種咁嘅生活嘅咁樣，即係享受多啲 family day 啦。呢度又好興，即係就算 even 你覺得係可能，如果你會覺得點解有啲鋪頭我哋早排去睇下車咁樣啦，因為啱啱嚟到。咦，原來呢度嘅車行星期日係唔使翻工㗎，咁係啦，即係
星期六開半日嘅就有啲
係啦。你一個 sales 嚟講咧，其實佢都會有佢都需要佢嘅 family time 㗎嘛。咁我覺得又真係幾好喎，即係你而家諗就係話我咪冇得睇嘢去買嘢咯。咁但係如果我係嗰個 car sales，咁我會覺得係咯，星期日我係應該同埋我嘅屋企人去個 picnic，佢哋都應該要有 family time。咁我覺得
大家都應該休息下。
係啦，咁其實呢個先至係真正嘅 work-life balance 咯，即係喺香港可能真係可能你即係做嘢啊，或者可能 OT 啊，或者可能甚至乎禮拜六日都要返工。其實如果你係 looking forward 一個咁樣開，即係一個 family time 多啲嘅，或者係 work-life balance 多啲嘅地方咧，咁其實呢度係一個幾好嘅地方。
我諗你而家真係知道咩叫 work-life balance 啊？
係啊，
即係之前係講嘅啫，而家你即係因為全個 environment 逼住你咁做啊嘛。係啊，咁你真係會健康好多咯。咁啊，喂，好啦，喂，Sarah，咁你我知你而家都仲係點講 settle 緊啦 ，settling 啦。咁你 settle 咗之後有咩大計咧？喺 Queensland 你嗱，因為你係即係我講唔講得你係咩 visa？Anyway， 唔好你自己講就講啦。咁你會有你嘅即係 business 啊，或者之類啦，或者定你諗住退休啊？唔係啊？
唔係，其實咧，
咁你講下。
我之前咧係啦，我之前喺香港嘅時候，咁我一路都係做開公司咁樣啦，咁主要就做一啲general insurance 嘅，咁當其時咧就係即係當我諗嚟移民嘅時候，我第一時間就會諗死啦！我過到嚟呢一度嘅時候，我應該要做啲咩咧？因為可能我冇咗之前嘅 connection， 未必會係即係咁成功喎。咁我都要諗定我究竟做啲乜嘢好。咁但係其實就係之前其實咧我都 meet up 過 Cynthia 2次啦。咁 Cynthia 都好好，佢都會一路好似頭先佢個 talk 咁樣咧，其實佢係一路有俾一啲意見我啦，你可以做啲邊一類嘅生意啊，或者即係有啲乜嘢係我哋呢一度好嘅嘢啦 ，Queensland 好嘅嘢啦，咁但係佢都會提我就係其實你既然有呢一個 knowledge， 你有過往嘅 experience， 咁點解你唔去 try 下試翻做你自己做嘅嘢咧？咁其實令到我個信心都會大咗，即係有陣時就係大家都會諗去到一個外地嘅地方，有陣時有啲嘢係咪自己未必做得到咧？咁可能其實即係佢嘅大家咁樣去傾談嘅時候，可能會有一啲方案出嚟，令到啲嘢會好咗。咁所以我覺得即係都好慶幸，其實之前因為阿 Richard 同阿 Don 咧就係我嘅agent 啦，咁佢哋都幫我安排咗，即係去見阿 Cynthia 嘅時候，就令到我會覺得原來我可以知道咁多，或者可能我有好多樣嘢係可以了解清楚呢一度嘅生活對我嚟講係點樣樣。咁所以我好似頭先咁講啦，我可能要再見多次 Cynthia 啦，咁睇下其實可能之前好似咁講，係咪真係我可以做翻我本身個行業咧？咁當然我之前都話我嚟緊等緊嗰個時間，因為之前都講我由18年等到而家2021年咁長嘅時間咧，其實咧講真有一啲 opportunity 一定會走咗，咁但係亦都喺呢個時間上邊咧，我都準備咗一啲嘢，譬如可能好似我上次上年度見過 Cynthia 之後，原來佢話我都可能可以做嘅，咁我可能我又讀定咗一啲牌啦，係 for 翻呢一邊啱我做嘅嘢啦，有一啲 license 我要攞定啦，咁令到我成件事去嚟到嘅時候就多咗一範嘅準備，萬一我真係需要做呢，即係可能做呢一範嘅時候，我都已經 well prepared 咗咯。咁所以雖然可能等得耐，如果有啲朋友係即係聽緊嘅話，佢可能都係覺得我要等好耐時間，咁可能中間其實佢即係可能同佢即係個移民 agent 傾下係咪可以有一啲嘢係令到佢自己都係早啲準備定咧，雖然未必即刻可以嚟到咁樣。咁當然我就一知道自己 grant 咗就好高興啦，等到頸長就即刻訂機票過嚟啦。
機票係咪好難啊？依家
其實機票都難嘅，咁但係即係因為一架機只可以坐到35個人，咁所以咧就即係個機票上面係有少少困難。咁但係我都買到嘅，即係都相信，但係就直航就難啲啦，就或者可能有機會佢會 cancel flight 啦，咁就要小心呢一 part 咯。咁但係嚟到呢度係真係好開心啊，因為其實呢一度係touch wood 佢嗰個疫情都控制得好好啦，咁全部我哋可以去翻公園啦，咁最渴望嘅就當然係我個女渴望返學啦，咁啲小朋友又好渴望可以去到公園啦，因為我哋之前一路都 其實整整1年，其實我哋都唔夠膽，即係點樣出去出邊呢份公園都太多人，就算戴住口罩都會覺得係有即係玩嘅時候要好小心。咁所以嚟到呢度佢哋就真係小朋友咧，的而且確係一個家庭入邊最容易適應呢一度嘅生活嘅。咁但係即係大人啦，即係我哋咧，其實要適應都唔係太難咯。係
OK， 喂 Sarah 嗱，即係頭先你都講咗啦，咁啊好多謝你哋，即係好多謝你信賴我哋啦，即係做你嘅 agent，咁我好開心見到你即係過咗嚟達到你嘅目標。咁我諗即係而家響Facebook 啊或者 YouTube 聽緊我哋嘅朋友，佢哋都係喺度即係選擇緊啦，或者了解緊啦，想即係搞移民啊或者之類。咁頭先你都有提過，即係你等咗好耐啦，咁樣咁啊，即係可唔可以俾啲 tips 我哋即係大家聽緊嘅朋友？譬如佢哋係點樣嗱？除咗佢揀地方之外，佢點樣揀嗰個路徑咧？譬如應唔應該揾 agent？因為而家已經大家傾緊係應唔應該揾 agent 啊，或者揾咩 agent 啊？點樣做啊？咁樣呢啲可唔可以？因為即係 Cynthia 都 share 咗佢一啲經驗嘅時間，即係從官方嘅經驗。你從一個用家嘅經驗，你又可唔可以講下咧？咁樣即係除咗要揾我之外，即係。嗱，其實係啦，你會點揀咧？俾你今次再翻轉頭，你要揀多次啊，或者你而家學咗啦，你又要再試移民，咁你會點揀？
嗱，其實我自己個經驗咧，其實係都好峰迴路轉嘅。咁因為即係我會咁認為啦，如果你嘅legal 即係你個 law 係對好認識咧，除非或者你嘅英文係真係其實英文流利都未係都未必得，即係好似 Cynthia 咁講，就係你英文就算幾叻，你對嗰個當地嘅 law 有啲唔係好熟悉咧，其實自己去申請咧係有啲困難嘅，我覺得。咁即係嚟我講下我自己過往嘅時候啦，其實我最初嘅時候咧就係頭先有講過，就係我本身諗住喺英國咁樣去英國，咁因為知道英國有呢一個 visa 啦，咁跟住後嚟啲朋友就話喂其實澳洲都有㗎咁樣，咁我哋就即刻兩邊去睇啦。咁當其時就英國咧其實係好容易揾即係香港都有好多 agent 係負責搞去英國嘅，咁但係咧其實亦都係真係好隨意，即係可能係邊個地方都可能有一個人可以話俾你聽，可能可以係律師，可以係會計師，可以係普通一個agent， 或者就 even 佢賣樓嘅，佢都可以係一個 agent 咁樣。咁但係咧，我就唔知道原來澳洲咧其實係需要有牌嘅，即係呢個 Mara 嘅 agent 咧先至可以做得到。咁我最初嘅時候就揾咗一個會計師啦，咁咧就即係佢成日都喺網上都介紹話自己會做呢一 part 嘅嘢嘅，咁我就揾咗佢啦。咁但係咧就後嚟咧，當我去問，即係我直情係 through 咗佢去apply 個 EOI 嘅當其時。咁但係當我過咗一輪之後咧，我就發覺其實我同佢傾談嘅時候，可能我講咗10個idea， 我做啲咩生意啊，可以點樣做法啊咁。因為我同佢傾咗一輪之後咧，其實我發覺有一日我突然間就問佢其實我幾時先至要揀定自己揀邊隻 plan 寫啊？係咪我哋要開始㗎啦？因為我啲時間好緊迫咯，係咪應該要 apply 啊？因為而家有 EOI 咯咁樣。跟住佢先至話：你個 plan 已經交咗㗎啦，所以你先有 EOI。咁嗰一下咧，我係好有少少晴天霹靂嘅，即係我諗緊我講咗10個 plan 喎，究竟你用咗我邊個 plan 啊？咁樣。咁我就去問翻佢攞我嘅資料啦，咁你可唔可以俾翻我最後我個 plan 係寫咗乜嘢啊？咁樣，咁佢就話我唔可以俾你知啊，因為個 plan 係屬於我嘅咁樣。咁我又唔知啦，咁樣我就咁 OK，咁但係個生意係我要做喎，咁你都要話俾我聽，我要準備啲咩㗎？咁樣，咁其實咧一路問咧嘅時候就開始佢唔係好想答啦，或者係避開咗一啲問題，咁以至到我自己就好擔心呢一樣嘅嘢，咁我就即刻再去睇下其他嘅 agent 啦。咁當其時就見到Richard 個係啱啱嚟香港啦，又咁咦佢仲要係 嚟自Brisbane 喎，即係咁我又好想去呢個地方喎，問下佢啲好無聊嘅問題啦，即係包括邊度水浸啊？
我記得問有冇好多烏蠅？
咁問我邊度有係咪好多蚊？
係
多唔多烏蠅啊？而家你嗰邊
多唔多烏蠅啊？
而家多唔多烏蠅啊？你
而家唔多烏蠅，暫時 OK， 暫時 OK， 係啊，反而喺 Elderly 嘅時候真係多到我哋一路行，我個女係要咁樣行嘅，即係啲烏蠅飛晒我隻耳仔。咁係啦，即係我問阿 Richard 一啲好即係好實用，即係實際啲嘅問題啦。但係我都未係正式問佢關於移民嘅嘢嘅。咁佢都好樂意答我。咁但係跟住當我問下嘅時候，就發現咗，原來我係可以知道自己，我係用緊邊一個 plan 去
呢啲係你嘅權利
嘅喎。我係應該係啦，我應該可以睇到自己 apply 咗啲乜嘢，應承咗啲乜嘢，應承咗幾多錢，應承咗幾多個人，即係呢啲到最後係會落實咗嘅 plan 究竟係點？其實應該係要知道。咁嗰下嘅時候，我就更加驚啦，我就問翻幫我嗰個人啦。咁我問佢嘅時候咧，佢就覺得佢就淨係講咗，其實你唔信任我，就大家都咁唔好揾我啦咁樣。跟住我嗰下係覺得其實我移民係一件好大件嘅事嚟嘅，即係我全家人嘅即係身家性命財產喺晒度，就係我其實移民唔係一件即係好容易話決定去做嘅事。咁點解連我自己用呢一個 plan 去移民都唔知咧？咁嗰下我係好擔心。咁我就即刻轉咗 agent 啦。咁而轉咗之後咧，亦都我開始會知道了解翻究竟我自己個情況會係點啦，咁攞翻所有嘅嘢啦，咁我又再係啦見過 Cynthia 啦，咁跟住又再傾啦，就知道自己更加落實啲啦，即係之後咧就一路都好似知道多咗自己嘅情況咁樣，咁就先至可以安心啲咯，咁就可以踏上咗我去呢一個
開始等
係啦，咁但係其實開始等咗好長時間之後咧，其實都中間咧係有一啲即係當有 case officer 嘅時候咧，亦都係一件好詳盡嘅事件嚟嘅。咁有 case officer 嘅時候，你就會更加覺得其實我係應該要有 agent 嘅，即係有，因為佢問嘅問題都好好深入啦，應該咁講啦。咁或者係你如果你用一個好普通你自己將你自己識嘅嘢去再答嘅時候咧，其實未必係個 case officer 想要知道嗰樣咁重嘅 point 嘅，因為佢可能問嘅嘢好廣泛。咁你如果你要答咧，可能如果你冇 agent， 可能你要答10個 box file 嘅答案先至答到佢嗰條問題。咁而家你就會知道，咁佢都知道啲咩文件。咁我哋去交嘅咧，咁就會比較好啲啦。咁更加即係啦。咁所以如果即係 for 我嚟計，我會覺得有 agent 而且係有牌嘅 agent 咧，就比較緊要啲咯。因為以前最初嘅時候喺香港，我諗我可能在座可能有好多人都會好似我咁，其實唔係個個國家移民都係求其揾個人話佢識得搞移民嘅律師又好、會計師又好就得㗎啦咩？咁其實佢哋可能就唔知道會有咁樣嘅情況咯，甚至乎可能佢變咗你有好多樣嘢你唔知道自己嘅權益喺邊度咯。咁而家就會知道多啲咯。
好啊，咁多謝晒啊 Sarah 你。我都記得你講過呢句説話俾我聽下，你嘅身家性命財產。係啊，全家人咁緊要嘅事，因為移民嘛，唔係即係講緊我哋係真係將整個生活要移過嚟。咁除咗你話揾個天氣，揾個即係當然係，即係亦都因為係咁樣，所以我揀 Brisbane 啦。因為個問題就係我哋都喺度講，我哋諗緊嘅係我哋打後幾十年喺度住嘅喎。如果你唔揀一個你真係中意嘅地方，即係好似我頭先 share 嘅第一張相，英國其實都有好多好玩嘅公園，亦都好好嘅 education。咁但係如果你係成日都陰陰天嘅時候，可能你個心情未必係最開心。咁如果我哋有選擇嘅時候，我哋點解唔去選擇一個自己中意嘅地方咧？咁樣咁所以即係除咗
外在環境啦，真係全家人嘅嘢就喺晒度啦，咁樣咯。
冇錯，但係我諗即係我都不厭其煩，同好多朋友都講，我話你哋申請移民嘅人係最緊要係知道自己嘅權利或者你哋嗰個嘅即係權益係點樣受到保障啦。咁因為即係我好老實咁講，我都係從我嘅師傅學翻嚟，因為我師傅都係 Queensland 佢嘅就係我當年嘅移民 agent 阿 Cynthia 都識嘅。我其實連佢哋兩公婆，連佢哋嘅爹哋媽咪，連佢哋對仔女我都識。咁每次我翻 Queensland 都係揾佢哋一齊，咁差唔多佢帶翻我入去做移民顧問，同埋後尾係我律師嘅一個即係我嘅 reference 嚟嘅，即係 nominate 我。咁所以佢係我 agent， 結果做咗10幾年嘅朋友咁樣。今次都好開心見到阿 Sarah 你，咁我諗未來10幾年可能都仲會有機會同你好多機會見面。係，我都同阿Don講，阿Don尤其是喺 Brisbane 啦，咁其實都係即係其實或者應該咁講，我哋都食咗叫做而家叫2年啦。其實已經唔係就咁普通 agent 咁樣，即係其實因為好多時候問嘅問題，即係好似我話呼應多唔多都問下你嘅，即係大家其實即係大家去了解大家嘅生活嘅時候，係慢慢已經係朋友式嘅生活咁樣咯。係啊，冇錯，因為呢個基本上大家真係你禮拜好多時你喺商場都會撞到朋友，唔同香港嘅呢度係可以。係。好啊。好啦，嗱咁啊，我諗即係今晚嘅時間都差唔多啦，咁亦都真係好多謝阿 Sarah 你，咁啊因為今晚 Cynthia 同 Sarah 咧都已經係 OT 噶啦，喺澳洲嚟講。香港嘅朋友就而家即係6點仲開緊工嘅可能，咁我諗所以好多朋友都會之後要睇翻我哋嘅 replay 啊咁樣。咁我再一次多謝阿 Cynthia 啦 ，thank you Cynthia。I know you are still working. It's very unusual. I think you have a whole power of your nomination, and I'm pretty sure that nomination is still working.
Yeah. Oh, you have another webinar today for some migration agents from Victoria because we have received a lot of application from Victoria, so we have a special session for them. And tomorrow we're going to have another session webinar for New South Wales-based agents, talk about some issues with submitting the applications. But anyway, it was a good experience for us. We have more interaction with the agents, but I do appreciate the opportunity for me to present here and to speak to your audience. I don't know how many people are online at the moment, but I think what Sarah shared with us, her migration journey was very interesting. And I hope she can enjoy her lifestyle here in Brisbane with her family. And you know, if you need more assistance from BSMQ or Trade Invest Queensland, just let us know.
Thank you so much.
Okay. 好，咁我多謝阿 Sarah 啦，今晚同我哋分享啦，即係。幾年嚟㗎啦，今次終於見到你好 relax 好 enjoy 咁樣，我哋都好開心啊！又好有少少即係惆悵到開始就好即係忍耐性到等到啲耐性差唔多用啦，跟住就開始震撼啦，震撼之後又係等啦，咁啊等完之後終於就喺個地鐵度跳起身，我記得你。係啊係。咁而家終於好開心咁 relax 啦，咁OK， 咁我哋今晚嘅 sharing 咧亦都差唔多啦。咁我知道好多朋友趕住要去講 EOI 啦，或者係準備你嘅 nomination。咁多謝晒大家。咁我哋今晚就到呢度為止。下個禮拜咧，我哋再會有其他嘅 live 啊，亦都會再同大家 share 其他嘅生活資訊嘅。咁多謝晒大家。咁我哋掌聲再見，拜拜。
多謝晒，拜拜。
拜拜。Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.